I do appreciate all of your comments, and I do read all of them, even though I'm not able to respond to them all, especially when things go viral. It gets a bit crazy. I can wake up, have my breakfast, and like 2 hours later, I'm still sat there reading comments when I should be getting my work done. So in this video, I'm going to respond to some comments in reverse time order of what they've been coming in. Been doing lots of video comment response things with Wildman, but I'll do one on my own. So first one at the top here is any thoughts on the Thai prison movie A Prayer Before Dawn? I'm actually mates with Billy Moore, who was in Thai prison. Went to watch the movie. Fantastic, brutal, not much said in it, but it really captures his alienation. He doesn't speak the language and the gang stuff. They used actual real ex-cons in there. I've got a few videos on my channel with Billy Moore, Prayer Before Dawn, put that in the search box. I think I have actually done a full video review of that one. Next one is get Frankie Fraser on the podcast. Do you know him, James? Oh, he's passed away. So he's taking the piss. Oh dear. Okay.
Is it Frankie Fraser?
Frankie Fraser?
Yeah,
He's gone.
A few years ago,
Oh
yeah.
dear. Okay. Well, R.I.P. Frankie. Let's see. 69 fans are losers, chomos, white people who just want to be able to say the N-word. I fucking hate white people. Too much fucking mayo. Vro. Well, anyone talking about Chomo 69 is a true loser, bro. I auto assume you're a goofy rat, laugh my ass off, but yeah, bump 69 around me. I know who's clearly gay. Like, I'm not selecting which comments to respond to. I'm just going through them in time order. I've been doing lots of videos about 69. I believe that's helping people come into my story. If I put out, say, what is Rico as a video, it'll get 10,000 views. If I put out Takashi's 69 Rico, it'll get 100,000 right away. And that's not me just going on and on about 69. I am actually getting most of my story into those videos. So strategies are used to get people in. I don't see anything wrong with that, to get more people, get my story out, expose what's going on in the world with all this corrupt US justice stuff. Bought your book, Hard Time, arrives Monday. Can't wait. Good job, Shaun. You're helping many people from going through prison hell. Do you think US in the UK should be in prison for killing burglars in their own homes? Should people be put in prison for killing burglars in their own homes? No, I don't believe that they should. Because if a burglar comes in my home, I don't know if he's coming in my home to kidnap me, to torture me, to extort me, or just to rob the house. And I'm going to grab something and I'm going to try and knock that guy the fuck out. And if I kill him, so be it, because he's going to go down before I'm going to go down. I do have advice for some people if they are getting burgled. Most acquisitive crime is from heroin addicts. They don't want to get in confrontations with homeowners. So if you hear someone in your house and you suspect it's a burglar, start making a lot of loud noise right away. Yell down at that asshole. Yeah, right, I'm coming down right now with my baseball bat, gonna sort you out, motherfucker, and we've already called the police. You need to get the fuck out of here right now. Be yelling stuff like that at them, try and scare them out of the property. It was actually a ex-burglar who gave me that advice, because he said when he was in there, if someone started kicking off, he would just get the fuck out of there right away. So, if you murder a burglar, someone coming into your property, into your place of safety, and if you murder that person, so be it, I say. These guys should not be getting put in prison. Do you voice your own books on Audible, or does a professional reader do it? So far, I've had professional readers do it, but I am going to do my own voice for the new edition of Prison Time. So we'll see how that one works out. And then I might extend that also to Party Time and Hard Time, because some people have said they would rather hear me doing my books in my own voice. Right, let's keep going down here. A lot of people wishing us Merry Christmas. R.I.P. to Tonys and Frankie. That's from Stephen McRae. UK government spends more per prisoner on food than they do on the armed forces. People go, don't be a full-blown liberal sympathiser mode. Just remember our servicemen and women could be freezing their asses off, blah, blah, blah. This is the old typical lock them up, throw away the key, don't spend any money on the prisoners because they don't deserve anything, they've got nothing coming. Yeah, I agreed with that because I thought prisoners were paedophiles, murderers, rapists. But where I was housed, the average arrest was a black kid or a Mexican with a little bit of weed. All about filling these private prisons, all about these greedy politicians and corporations making money off the backs of society's most vulnerable people. When your own kid's been busted for weed and he's in a cell and someone's threatening to rape him or smash his skull in with a padlock and a sock, you might think otherwise about prisoners. Sorry to hear about Frankie. The cough did not sound good. Do they allow smoking in prison? They banned it in Australia. So when I was in prison, in the jail, they didn't allow it. In the prison, in Department of Corrections, they allowed outdoor smoking areas, but prisoners smoked in the cells, of course, as well. And there was a lot of lawsuits came in from non-smokers. Let's see. Talking to someone on the phone who has one day left to live is heavy stuff, man. Makes you think about how life is and what it makes and means. You know, yeah, two Tonys and Frankie murdered people in the mafia. I'm not condoning that. Two Tonys put it that it was like joining the military. It's kill or be killed. He only killed rival gangsters. He didn't kill women or kids. These guys have done horrible things. But they did teach me to appreciate the small things in life. Two Tonys died in 2010, liver cancer from his drug taking. I remember what he said to me about Ivan Denisovich, fighting over a fish eyeball in the soup in the Russian gulag, laughing at the prisoners in America, complaining that the recreation didn't start on time, food was cold. There's always somebody worse off. People wishing us good vibes because of what's happened with T-Bone's daughter and Frankie. A guy, Sam Roberts, I know this is stupid, but do you miss it? Like, did you make friends? Yeah, you bond with people because people in the public don't understand the intensity of what we went through. I feel bonded for life with this guys. I'm committed to helping the guys I went to prison with. And a community built up around the blog in prison. My parents were sending the printouts from the internet, all the comments from the public, the blogs. People were getting pen pals books. People really enjoying that contact with the outside world. It's great that you're still making videos. We love to Tony's positive mental attitude. Did it cost you more to phone back to the UK? We did a reverse charge call to the UK from the Maricopa County Jail. That cost my parents like 60, 70 pounds, like almost $100. The phone service thing is just a racket. Will you be doing book signings at any of your tours? I'm already booked to speak in Bristol and Brighton, doing my Pablo Escobar talk. I do have my books on offer at my public engagements, and they are all signed. And the money from those sales goes to something I've set up where I donate books to kids in state schools and prisoners. And I've managed to donate 20,000 books in the last couple of years through those sales. Funding have just authorized, get this, you asked for it, I asked them to do it. Funding, I've said now that I'm going to be going way, way north, Glasgow, Edinburgh, Newcastle. They've greenlit it. I've not got the final confirmation, but it's been greenlit. So first week of February, I'm going to be doing Northern talks and then going all the way up to Scotland. And it's because you guys asked for it. I've been asking funding over and over and over again to set this up. So I'm looking forward to seeing some of you guys in these colder areas of the country. Worst day in prison. Watch my video on was I suicidal in prison, facing 200 years. Just wanted to slash my wrists and bleed out at that point. Couldn't take it anymore. That was the worst. Did being English in American prison help you? The Americans love the English. Why do you think I moved there in the first place? women would hear my accent and roll out the red carpet. So they were asking me if I knew the Queen, Spice Girls, all this stuff in the prison. My sister went to dance school with Sporty Spice, so I threw that out there. And you're our goddamn limey cousins from across the pond. Thanks for introducing me to Bronski Beat. Small Town Boy is very good. Yeah, there's some really good Small Town Boy remixes now that are out there, dance remixes. Love hearing it when I go into a club or the gay bar, getting my dance on. Going to be doing that on New Year's Eve. Going to the gay bar in Clapham Common, is it? Brewers. Getting my dance on. Nothing like that vibe you get in the clubs and the gay bars for to get your groove on. Bronski Beat, Wild Man, when we were kids. Wildman was like a teenager, and we used to stand outside the garage, and Wildman had his big boom box, and he's playing Bronski Beat really loud. And it's like, run away, run away, in this high-pitched voice. This big old Wildman getting down. It was the gay district of Manchester that we first discovered dance music, me and Wildman, when we were out looking for adventures back when we were teenagers. Frankie had an awful cough. Sounds more than a cold, maybe lung disease. He didn't get intervention in prison that would have required. Yeah, I mean, if you get sick in prison, you carry that out onto the streets. And especially with the hepatitis C, if it's gone so far, you know, you're not going to make it. A Day in the Life of Ivan Denisovich by Sol helps me during downtimes as well. This is to Tony's favourite book. People are commenting on that on the back of my What's Christmas Like in Prison video. Biggest thing in Christmas at prison is the Christmas list. Special items you can buy only around Christmas time. Christmas cookies, cakes, coffee creamers and other shit. Makes it sound like we've got access to loads of food, but you can only buy a limited amount of these things, and they're not exactly the biggest portions. Did I deserve the sentence I got? Yes, I did 6 years. I harmed society, importing ecstasy, putting people on that road of drug use. You know, they classified me as a kingpin, headed the syndicate, multi-million-dollar operation, multi-agency investigation, the feds, the state, ATF, all those people, import, export, customs, what I'm saying. All these different agencies were involved. And at the end of the day, my parents remortgaging the house, coming up with 100 grand, getting me a good lawyer, employing the strategies, the legal strategies in my recent videos about Tekashi that I've recommended. People noticed in the Tekashi video I put 4 hands up when I said 3 strategies. That was a Freudian slip. There was a 4th strategy, and that is letting your case go stale. And what that means is when the police first arrest you and your headline news and the prosecutor's gung-ho on getting you a big sentence to enhance her career, if you can slow play the system, it can turn to your advantage if your co-defendants don't cooperate with the police. If there's no witnesses coming forward, the prosecutor's starting to get stressed out now, thinking we ain't getting the evidence we needed to get a big sentence. And if you can drag your case on for years, there's a theory that the police who have first arrested you, who are headline news, they're off on now on other cases. They've lost interest in your case. All your paperwork and evidence and stuff is getting moldy in some filing cabinet somewhere, and it's working in your favor because all these things are going stale. And then at the end of the day, I didn't get sentenced on my 3rd year. My case was totally slowed down, and by the 3rd year, you know, the detectives, the prosecutors, the witnesses were off. Some of the witnesses, they said they could no longer get a hold of those people. So things fall to the wayside over time, which makes a case go stale. So a good strategy for Tekashi, which wasn't included in the first 3 strategies, would be to let your case go stale. There's a video by Joey Diaz, Church of What's Happening Now podcast, which I've started to watch, which is brilliant. And he's talking about how he let cases go stale as well. Some of the similar stuff to what I've said. Can you teach me some stock market tricks? All of my stock market strategies are put in videos. I've got a stock market playlist on my channel. On the last video a month ago, I said if Dow Jones goes below 24,000, it's not a good time to be getting into the stock market. It's a good time to be in cash. That happened last week. I'm now 100% in cash. Took some losses on the cannabis shares going down recently, but I'm just getting out now until things stabilize. Things so volatile right now in the market, it could potentially crash. And I follow Stan Weinstein, Secrets of Profiting in Bull and Bear Markets is his book. Buy that. Using his techniques, that's how I made a couple of million in the stock market in America. And also using his techniques, I got into the cannabis shares when I was first on True Geordie. And I told everybody, don't buy Bitcoin, don't buy cryptos. It's a bubble. And where is it now? It is going down and down. Of course, it's going to have huge rallies periodically. Stocks have to breathe. But Bitcoin is going back to zero or to near zero, which is where it came from. It's a millennial bubble and millennium bubble. Millennial bubble. And the reason that crypto is going to go back to near zero is because it's not something that you can just produce a fixed amount of. So the cannabis companies have got a crop and they sell it and they make money and there's a profit and there's a fixed amount. With a cryptocurrency, anyone could just say, I've got this brilliant idea for cryptocurrency and put it online. There's an unlimited supply. You had all these charlatans putting out all these other cryptos at the peak and sucking all these people in, and they're losing the money and they're holding on to it or buying more. That is called catching falling daggers when you average down into a losing investment. All you Bitcoin and crypto holders out right there, do not buy more, sell. If anything, if you're strategic, you will be selling it short. You will be making bets it's going to go down and making more money off it going down. So when I get back into the stock market, I will be putting some more videos up. The cannabis shares are getting cheaper. There is a much safer strategy where you put just so much in each month. If you want to do that right now, that's fine. I would start with Canopy Growth, trading around $30 CGC on the New York Stock Exchange. That's going to be the Google, the cannabis industry. Put a little bit in each month, and as they go down over time, you average into it. So if it is a bear market, if they're going down. When do we get to meet Wild Woman? Wild Woman, they said if she would ever had to speak in court, they would have to get a translator in for her because her Scouse, her Liverpudlian accent is so strong. So I don't think it's going to come. People are saying they're having a hard time understanding Wild Man. You're not going to understand the word Wild Woman, says a lot of people out there. That Liverpool accent's really strong. Even if you look at my videos with Billy Moore, Prayer Before Dawn, he's from Liverpool and he's got that Liverpool accent. And some people have said it's hard. It's hard to understand what he is saying. When is True Geordie podcast part 4 incoming? My response to that is to ask Brian and Lawrence. Keep tweeting them at True Geordie TG on Twitter. Post messages on Instagram. Post comments on the YouTube channel. Brian said he was going to have Wildman back before the end of the year. Wildman's been on standby all year. We're ready for this. We're gung-ho for this. And I want to also have Wildman on my own podcast. So Wildman's going to get a hotel, do True Geordie, and then do my podcast the next day. Wildman, people are asking, why isn't Wildman joining me on my talks? Funzing asked me to ask Wildman if he would do a talk. I told Funzing he was available. Sent a message back to Funzing last week again, offering to share some of my northern dates with Wildman if they can approve that. But Funzing has to approve this at the end of the day. They're the guys who approved talks with Jamie Morgan Kane now. That's helped Jamie become a public speaker. Jamie's going to be going down to Brighton and also to Bristol, doing some talks, and you can find that on Funzing's website, Innocent and Incarcerated for 34 Years. We'll also be posting the film we did of Jamie speaking in London for Funzing on the Innocent and Incarcerated for 34 Years topic. Watch Big Herc, 23-1. Then found Shaun Attwood. You all keep it real. It's dope to hear your insights on prison subjects. You're doing your thing, man. You got my sub. That's Peter Barnes. Cheers, Peter. Thank you for the sub. And glad that you're enjoying all of the other prison channels and that led you over to mine. Like I said, so much respect for all those guys doing the other prison channels, APS, Big Herc, Badger, Brian, 23 and 1, keeping it real. Me and Wildman watch the videos together now. We should do a thing where we watch the videos and we do comments on the videos while we're, that's just gave me an idea. Eureka moment there. Appreciate that one. Let's see what we're going on here. Don't understand me recommending people to kiss the judge's arse. If Shaun said Takashi's got no felonies and misdemeanors, there's no way he'll get life. But he said if the judge feels disrespected, he could get life. How can it be so subjective? There is a saying in prison, your sentence is determined by what the judge had for breakfast. Believe me, you need to kiss the judge's ass and be respectful in that courtroom because he's the guy with the power to send you away if he's in a bad mood. I'll give you an example of this. There was a guy who was in court and I think he was claiming he'd been innocent on something. And the alleged victim was in the courtroom and his family in the courtroom started talking shit to the alleged victim. And the judge said, I was going to give this guy probation today, but because of the lack of remorse and the display towards the victim in the courtroom, I'm giving him the maximum aggravated sentence. And I think this guy who was going to walk free out of that courtroom that day got 15 years. Yeah, this is the power of the judge's hands, having their hands. It's so frightening that that they have all this power over you. But at the end of the day, you got to admit your guilt to something and give your mitigating factors, the hard things that happened in your life that led to you being on this bad road, and say that you're not gonna go back to a life of crime and show remorse. Otherwise, you would get aggravated maximum sentence. State versus Fed is like comparing night and day. Yeah, Fed prison system is more funded, and Big Hurt was in Lompoc. The guy I lived with was actually in Lompoc around the turn of the millennium, and he told me all about it. State is run down, hardly got any money, all low-level drug users in there. Feds has got more politicians, bank robbers, people who are doing crimes across state lines. Yeah, there is a difference. And I've got a video about the difference between federal and state prison. It's got Takashi in the title. Don't unsub. Where was this filmed? Oh, that was Alcatraz in London. It's a prison-themed cocktail bar. Is Jamie Morgan Kane or David Courtney my dad? No, they're not my dad. If you go on Shaun's prison release at Gatwick or Heathrow Airport, you'll see my dad actually. I've got loads of footage, from when I was released from 2008 at my parents' house. I'm going to start to release that footage under a playlist called Fresh Out. Why aren't people calling Dave a plastic gangster to his face? Only on YouTube. That's talking about Dave Courtney, the guy I did the podcast with. And Dave has got that dangerous energy about him. I felt it. I saw it in Two Tonys. I felt it looking at Dave's face. I was a bit nervous. Didn't want to ask him the wrong question and get my nose bitten off. Let's see. Subtitles would be nice. This is a Wild Man one. Well, you put the captions on, and all the videos of Wild Man, there's an option for people to contribute subtitles if anyone wants to take the time to add some Wild Man subtitles. Let's see. Do I watch After Prison Show? Yeah, we already did a collaboration. Where can they watch my Banged Abroad episode, Locked Up Abroad episode? It's back on YouTube. It's called Raving Arizona. Just put Raving Arizona in the search box and my YouTube video, Locked Up Abroad documentary should come right up there. What would I tell a real gangster who is doing music but happens to notice his career is taking off? Does he take the risk and get out of the gang life, even if he's not sure how far his music will really take him, or something else? There comes a time in your life that you might be at a crossroads like this. I was at a crossroads like this, and my stock market boss was like, Shaun, you're at this crossroads tonight, or you can go over here and have success, legitimate success, or you can go down here and have excitement, but it might lead to hell. And he was right. If you're in the gangster lifestyle and you've got these skills and you're starting to take off in your legit career, I say go with it, man. I would say have a sit down with the fellas, explain you want to go legit, so there's no bad blood there, there's no blood in, blood out business. Get the green light from them to let you go, depending upon what commitments you've had to them to get out of these commitments. Hopefully they'll be happy for you if they're truly your brother in this gang life. They truly support you. They should be happy for you. If you're going to play both sides, my advice is to start putting money away every month for a extremely high priced lawyer, because that's where it's going to end up, like with Tekashi. Yeah. People calling out Jamie Morgan Kane, saying the Vietnam War ended in 73. How can he be talking about 74, 75? What happened was, in 1973, the ground troops were taken out of Vietnam, yes. But they had all kinds of operations going on for years afterwards. The last Marines to die were in Vietnam were in 75. Spoke to Jamie about this. They had 50 or so warships out there for few years, evacuating people. CIA's got all kinds of missions going on. When America says the war's over, that's it, blah, 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 doesn't mean they're not up to all kinds of stuff in the background that they don't want the public to know about. That's how they operate. So the Navy was out there, and he wasn't a Marine. He was a Navy corpsman, a medic. That's all he said he was. And he went out with the Marines as a medic. So he was like in the clique with the Marines. David Courtney comes across as a nice fella, but a psychopath. A nice psychopath. Condolences to T-Bone. Thanks again for the great videos. Fuck the Bell End trolls. Don't be repeating stuff about Tekashi. I only did that because True Geordie did a video and it was different content with Geordie in there. So, all right, that's comments anyway for the last 2 days. If you've got more stuff, put it in the comments box. You guys have a great Christmas and New Year in the free world. Take care out there. Cheers.